Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and welcome to our second in the 5 series sessions on what managers need to know about managing meetings. Last week, we began by looking at what goes into beginning the meeting, and today we're going to be looking at what is involved in managing the participants. So last week, we wanted to know, was the meeting started on time? Was everyone aware of the agenda? And the agenda, it was something that we focus on very strongly because many meetings don't have them. And if you have an agenda with a time frame, that gives the facilitator or the chair of the meeting great leeway to control conversation, to keep things on track. Were the right people present? If we know what's going to be discussed in the meeting, then that makes it easier to know who should be there and who doesn't need to be there, or when they need to be there. Were people made to feel welcome? Well, how do you do that? Do you tell them why they're there? Do you thank them for coming? What is it that you do to make them feel welcome? And was the meeting objective clear? And what I stressed last week is that the only reason to have a meeting, to get everybody away from their desks or to get them online, away from their work, is if you're going to make a decision that needs everyone involved who you have invited to the meeting. If there's no decision that needs to be made, there's no reason to have a meeting. And was sufficient time allocated to each agenda item? Now we look at managing the participants. Did the facilitator give everyone an opportunity to participate? There are going to be some folks who don't speak up unless they're invited to. There are some who need to consider and take some time to reflect before they speak up. Are we giving people that option and that opportunity? Was a spirit of cooperation fostered? Now, how do you do that? If you identify the common goal, if you talk about the fact that everyone who is present has expertise or insight or perspective or background information that is essential to the conversation and the decision that has to be made, that can help people feel more cooperative. Did people feel safe to contribute their ideas? Well, how do we keep people feeling safe? We do that by making sure no one is interrupting them, that when they have the floor, they have the floor. We make sure that there are some rules for the meeting. And we didn't discuss that at the beginning last week. But I think it's worth saying that it would be helpful if we have a few rules or operating rules of engagement for the meeting itself. And one of those could be either provided by the chair or created by the group there. It depends on the time frame and the organizational culture. But at the very least, what we want in the rules of engagement are treat everyone with respect. So that if there's an issue, to bring it up directly rather than fomenting discussion on the side that can make people feel uncomfortable. Was domination by one or two persons avoided? This is where having the agenda with timeframes can be a very useful tool, because it's possible to say, we have to interrupt and say, I'm sorry, I appreciate your interest or your enthusiasm or your perspective, and we have a time limit for this discussion, so we're going to have to move on. Were people presenting information well prepared and organized? Well, the only way to at least set up the possibility that they will be well prepared and organized is sending the agenda out early so people know what it is they need to prepare for. And did the group adhere to the agenda? If people wanted to talk about things that were not on the agenda, then what the chair or facilitator can do is say, we've got a parking lot. We'll put that there for new business for next week or for whenever our next meeting is. But what we don't want to do is get people who are talking so off the track that it skews the possibility of the meeting achieving its ultimate goal, which is a decision or decisions that need to be made. So make sure that you have an agenda, that agenda has timeframes on it, that agenda goes out to the right people, the people who are going to have background information, authority involved, so that they can participate in making a decision that needs to be made. And if you do that, and then pay attention to that agenda, I like to put it on a flip chart or on something in the chat somewhere, a whiteboard, where people can see what the agenda topics are and what the time frame is. And it's useful for the facilitator or chair to say, we're going at the very beginning, here's our agenda, here is the decision that we need to make, and here's how we're going to get there. Here are the topics we'll discuss, and each topic has a certain period of time allocated to it. And in order for us to get to our goal of making that decision and doing it in a timely fashion, we're going to stay rigidly within the confines of those timeframes that are already established, so that people know ahead of time. And then it gives you, as the chair or facilitator, the power is the wrong word, but it does give you permission to interrupt, to say to whoever is speaking, you'll have about 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is to make your point, and then we need to move on. So I hope that's useful. What we don't want are meetings that are unnecessary. We don't want meetings where everybody is invited to it and they're bored silly because it really doesn't impact them, or they have nothing to offer and they shouldn't have been invited in the first place. Let's keep these meetings focused on the agenda focused on the decisions that need to be made. Let's talk. If you would like help with meeting management ideas, please schedule time to talk with me using the URL or the QR code. Next week, we're going to talk about the facilitator's role, and we're going to donate 2 weeks to looking at the facilitator's role because that is so important. Even if you have an agenda and even if you have the right people there, someone needs to stay on top of the process of the meeting, making sure everyone is involved, making sure everyone has an opportunity to make their thoughts known, keeping things going smoothly so that there is no domination by 1 or 2 people. So this will be one of the most important focuses of our meeting management that we'll be looking at. So I hope you'll join us. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Oh, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Yeah. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost.